Hello and touch delay to all the class 7 students. In our previous class, we discussed about cells. I told you that cells are very important because all living organisms are made up of cells, right? All the known living organisms on the earth, they are made up of cells. Now, we can start our chapter number 1, nutrition in plants, right? So now I want you to remember that plants, being living organisms, they are also made up of cells, right? Plants ke khari ki dupsha gyore, cells ki dupsha gyore lani kyananzo semnala temba nya. Okay, so let us start, right? First, let us try to understand what do we mean by nutrition. Nutrition lana khalla gyu med ko so tabshi chenda, right? So the definition of nutrition given in your textbook is nutrition, it is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body, right? So nutrition lana khala wore la do tinang lo la organism chigi ro khala khantis radap chigdo thabshi mode la we mena thabshi la wor method la wor ro so organism chigi khala khantis radap chigdo ani khala di khantis use chigdo pheju chigdo utilization lana pheju chewala wor da, right? So nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body of that particular organism. Nutrition la we by na. So you can think about yourself. How do you obtain food? Kiranzo khala khane ragdo, right? Kiranzo shingdo do da de da ro denzo sagi yo bin na you obtain that food from plants. Kisi kiranzo sha da gonga da woma den khasagi yo bin na then you obtain those food from animals, right? So mode of nutrition kiranzo seu chungdo seu chungse. So tang azu thanta khar tayare nutrition in plants tayaro tangbo azu nutrition ki definition de seu chungso. The nutrition di nanglo la rig manda near. There are two modes of nutrition. Nutrition la thabla manda near is. The khandes re la wimben organism manda yudu zambala. Since there are different kinds of organisms, those organisms they have got different methods of obtaining food. Right. So two major modes of nutrition are autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. You have to remember these two terms: autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. What do we mean by autotrophic and what do we mean by heterotrophic? Let us try to differentiate between these two terms. Now, autotrophic autotrophic mode of nutrition is that mode of nutrition in which organisms make food themselves from simple substances. Or autotrophic la du zambala kisi organism chiki so khala so du yo bi bai na indila khala la wore autotrophic mode of nutrition la wor. Look at the word itself. Autotrophic. Auto means self, trophos means nourishment. Okay, so autotrophic la bai na self nourishment lag do. So autotrophic. Now on the other hand, heterotrophic la du zambala khala wor la na. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition is that mode of nutrition in which organisms take in ready-made food prepared by the plants. So dina khala wore kisi organism chigi ro khala tishin do da simje shimba ga shu sha gyo ji sagi yo bi bai na odine ragi yo bi bai na tila khala gre heterotrophic mode of nutrition lagre. So heteros lana khala wore other organisms which get nourishment from others. Okay, so autotrophic, heterotrophic. Now, since we are talking about nutrition in plants, what are plants? Plants di khandere. O khorang khala syo thugu yore. Yamena organism shimba ki khala syo gyo di longs chugore. This amutang wa we all know that plants they are autotrophs. Plants di kharre autotrophs re because they follow autotrophic mode of nutrition, right? So plants they are autotrophs. Right, plants like this autotrophs res kachin re la wi bana plants they make their own food. Plants right, and plants they make their own food through a particular process called as photosynthesis. Now this is the you might have heard about this particular term in your previous classes, but let us try to understand what do we mean by photosynthesis. Photosynthesis lana kharresha plant they make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is a process in which the plants make their own food. So photosynthesis lana kharre the food making process that is seen in plants. Plants nalo la khala soyagi process de nganzu khala wore photosynthesis lagores, right? Ani photosynthesis, it let example photosynthesis, it occurs in the presence of light. Yuna ani plants ki photosynthesis chetu war. Me wayin by na plant ki photosynthesis chetu yomar. Di into zambala tsigi tunda horata wayman. If you look at the word, photo means light, synthesis means to make or to combine. By combining two simple substances, they are making something, right? And it happens in the presence of photo. So therefore, it is called as photosynthesis. So photosynthesis, it occurs in the presence of light. So photo la wi bana light che, synthesis lana suwa to combine. Okay, diche. The photosynthesis, it happens inside the leaves. In majority of the plants, photosynthesis, it occurs in the leaves. Loma nala chungor. So leaves are like the kitchen of the plant body. Plant gi subu nanglo la ta khala sosa di khawa chagore la wi bana loma di chadu or. So it is like the kitchen of the plant. Plant ki kitchen do chagdo, tapsan do chadu do. But it is not necessary that the photosynthesis has to strictly occur inside the leaves. Any other green part of the plant can act as a site of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis chungsa ya saja shimba yorda. Penacha shawimban, if you take cactus, they don't have leaves, but they do photosynthesis. Kondo photosynthesis chiwor. Photosynthesis machena khala ragmarwa. So cactus do jimba na kuigi leaf yomarwa, kola leaf yomare. So photosynthesis is carried out by the other green parts of the plant like stem, stem ki chiwor. Seu chungswa iche. Now, if we look over here, the chalajik sogo yobi by na kirala kharugore, you need raw materials. In order to make something, you will need raw materials. Kiranzo amla gi thapsan alo khala so du zambala kharugu do cheda, menada, deda, ro dige sama gudo. Dinangshi ani plant photosynthesis chain khala so wala kharugu gore lawi by na raw materials gugore, and raw materials are water and carbon dioxide. Photosynthesis for photosynthesis to occur, plants they require water and carbon dioxide. So water the khane ragre. Water is absorbed from the soil by roots. Plant ki roots ki kharchi gore water soil ne absorb cheni lomang manjol ya tangor. Lomang manjol khandes tugu yemeding azu j chapter la jangur da transportation nanglola. How water is transported all the way from roots to the leaves we will study in the later chapter. Now, carbon dioxide, it is present inside the atmosphere or in the air. And carbon dioxide di kharchi gore loma gi thengor ya nanglola, loma nanglo ya thengor from atmosphere, right? And nanglo theng che do khari yore, igun chinju inde yore called stomata, right? Carbon dioxide is taken from air through stomata. Now, let us try to understand stomata lana kharu du tayenda. Stomata, they are tiny pores, tiny lana very small. Tiny means very small. So stomata, they are very, very small pores or holes present on the surface of the leaf. Loma ki surface kangla igun chinchu inde yor ngazu mi ki matong ya microscope wala tana madu matong ya igun inde yore di igun den zula ngazu kharela wore stomata. So you have to draw the diagram of stomata. So stomata nanglo der khari yore we have got two guard cells. Igun di kima la che ro and sulla cell ni do. This cell ni de la khalere this kidney shaped or bean shaped. Rajma shaped ho che yo ni cell ni shme dwe dil khalere guard cells lagre guard manzu dam ki guard lagyo security guard lagyo guard cells, and with the help of guard cells the stomata can open or close, and stomata open cha wi ba na ani carbon dioxide ya nanglo len tu ro lo ma nanglo la thapsan nanglo la. Okay, so stomata, they are very small holes present on the surface of the leaves, and then we have epidermal cells and subsidiary cells surrounding the guard cells. Okay, so you have to draw this particular diagram. And the why does photosynthesis occurs only in the leaves? Leaves nalo kharchin chungore lawi imbai na, or in the green parts of the plant nalo kharchin chungore lawi imbai na. The cells of the leaves, they have got green pigments known as chlorophyll. Now this is very important. Chlorophyll la six to peke chumburta tigi thakja di yaguchin semba nyamato. Okay, the in the cells of the leaves, loma chigi cell nalo tawi imbana microscope wala tawi imbana, they have got green pigments called as chlorophylls. Cell nanglo de jangu to tongu do. They are all chlorophylls. Right? They are green pigments. The green pigment the kharchini khe chambure. Apart from making the leaves look green, these chlorophyll or the green pigments, they capture the energy from sunlight. Chlorophyll की खर्च वो रे sunlight ने energy capture चिवोर आणि energy दी खर्च है जो तो भेजी चिवोर लाव यिंबा ना आणि खलास हुए चिदो from water and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide the water ni dagas me ya jar tu marwa. Kola ya jare चिदो खरु वो रे energy को वो energy दिखाने राव वो लाव यिंबा ना sunlight जाने राव वो आणि sunlight energy दी सुई जू तो वो लाव यिंबा ना chlorophyll की जू वो so chlorophyll की लेंगे खरे तो to capture the energy from the sunlight to make water to make food from water and carbon dioxide. So chlorophyll की लेंगे को all right. Now, if we summarize all that we have learned so far, photosynthesis lana kharresha. The chlorophyll containing cells of leaves. Leaves nanglo yogi cell chlorophyll yogi cells chorwa. In the presence of sunlight, they use carbon dioxide and water to synthesize carbohydrates. Right? Carbohydrates lana kharre khala direta. Carbon dioxide the water ni nyamdo ya jar ni khonzu kharu sogore carbohydrates lai de sogor khala sogor. And this way nyamdo la kharchi gor khonzu ki oxygen ma chilo la le shawor. Right. And that oxygen is very important for us to stay alive. All animals who breathe oxygen, they get their oxygen from plants. And plants, they produce oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. So chlorophyll containing cells of the leaves, in the presence of sunlight, they use carbon dioxide and water to synthesize food called carbohydrates. And oxygen is released in the process. Now, if you don't want to write all these long sentences or these words over here, then you can write this particular equation, this particular chemical equation. It is the simple chemical equation of the process of photosynthesis. In this one, we can see over here on the left hand side, we have carbon dioxide plus water. These are the two raw materials. Carbon dioxide, the water raw materials. So carbon dioxide and water, they combine to form carbohydrates and oxygen. Right? So carbon dioxide the water ni carbohydrate the oxygen the oxygen. So these with the help of chlorophyll in the presence of sunlight. So this is the chemical equation representing photosynthesis. Okay, and if you are asked to draw the representation, diagrammatic representation of photosynthesis, you see photosynthesis you can draw this particular diagram. Figure number 1.3 figure number 1.3 photosynthesis ki photosynthesis water and carbon dioxide. Water carbon dioxide and in the presence of sunlight and with the help of chlorophyll which is present inside the cells of the leaves, they convert these two raw materials into carbohydrates and oxygen. This is the picture representing the process of photosynthesis. I hope you are clear about the process of photosynthesis. In the next class, we will discuss more about other modes of nutrition in plants. Plants photosynthesis plant discuss. Okay, so we will stop over here. Thank you.